All right, welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. We have a first time we've done one of these in a while, but we're gonna have a themed sim tonight, and we will be giving away packs based on you guessing the outcome of the simulation. But I was watching the end of Ezra Denny interviewing the Nolan Network podcast. Great idea, great personality in Ezra to be doing the interviews, and fantastic choice to start with Nolan. I think he started with Nolan though because the idea actually came from something Nolan had said. So makes perfect sense. And Nolan's a great member of our West Coast late night ish streaming community. So I'm gonna get into the details of tonight's sim, but I thought I'd wait for the raid to come in before we do that because that way I won't have to explain it twice. But I am working on the pack giveaway form for tonight. Let's see if I can put the form up here. Here we go. Oh, perfect timing. Excellent timing. Ezra Denny, thank you for the raid. Ezra and Nolan, thank you for the entertaining stream. Daddy D. Smith Jr. in the chat. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Ezra and Nolan. So we do three kinds of streams on this on my channel. We do community games, which we haven't fired up yet for OOTP26, but we will soon. Create a roster is the most popular of those. That's where we use the player creation engine, and we make rosters, and people from our late night community play on stream. We do experiments, which we've been doing a bunch of to test out the new simulation engine as we get into OOTP26. And then, like tonight, we have theme simulations. So, unfortunately, a lot of the theme simulations happen when someone passes away. Like Ricky Henderson passed away. We did a really fun Ricky simulation to celebrate his career. We did something similar when Willie Mays passed away. But tonight, it's April Fool's. It's still April Fool's here on the West Coast. And we're going to do a simulation using the 1985 New York Mets. And if you're not familiar with the story of Sid Finch, I highly recommend you look it up because it's very entertaining. It could only have happened in the era before social media and the internet. But the Mets on April Fools played this joke on everybody where they had this phenom pitcher who could throw 168 miles an hour. I think the excuse was that's as high as the radar gun would go. So it maxed out the radar gun. He had, I believe, what they called a jug handle curveball that just broke like crazy. And so in spring training they set up this area that had a canvas tarp around it. And it was, like 100 feet long and, wide enough to, hold the pitcher's mound and a home plate. And supposedly Sid Fitch was in there warming up and practicing. And they had, like, the catcher would come out and he was complaining about, like, how sore his hand was from trying to catch this guy's pitches. And they would, they showed the reporters the radar gun and how it was showing 168. And I think I'm looking at the one of the stories about it. And I think his deal was too that like he wasn't like a typical rookie. He wasn't like out of high school or college. Oh yeah. He was 28 years old. He had dropped out of a couple of colleges, including I think Harvard. And yeah, so they had discovered him, and he threw barefoot. I think that was one of the other things, which is why the stream this is a picture of Sid Finch. He was like a tall, lanky, barefoot pitcher who could throw 168 miles an hour. So anyway, I thought, opening day just happened. It's April Fool's. I thought it would be fun to try to create a version of Sid Finch in the game, add him to the 1985 Mets as if he were actually a real phenom on opening day, add him to the team, which already has an incredible 12.4 WAR Dwight Gooden, and see if we can see how far this team could go. So I started working on the pack giveaway form already. Because I was doing that while I was listening to Ezra interview Nolan. And I was just putting in the Mets information. So the Mets that year went 98-64. This is a year before the Mets won the World Series. Yes, it's much less painful than we traded Soto. April Fools. Modifiers off, exactly. I put that right here. Modifiers will be off. It's right here. Smiley Face James already ahead of me. I did put that in. But the Mets went, they were second in the NL East. They finished 3 games behind the Cardinals. The Mets' 98 wins would have won the NL West. But there was no wild card. And there were only 2 divisions, the NL East and the NL West. So there was no recourse for the Mets to make the playoffs, despite having the second best record in the NL. And the Cardinals often messing up the Mets' postseason aspirations, but this year in particular, a year before the Mets won it all in '86. Who knows? If the Mets had made the playoffs, maybe a lot of the craziness that took over the Mets clubhouse, maybe that happens earlier. Maybe they don't win the '86 World Series because all the shenanigans get pushed up. Maybe they win no World Series, or maybe they win 2 or 3. Who knows? But I think '85 for a lot of Mets fans is like the what could have been season, right? If because they had already a lot of the talent from '86 on board, and I think everyone thinks about Dwight Gooden on '86, but he was actually an even more dominant pitcher in '85, and a lot of the pieces were already in place. So I think this will be an interesting and fun experiment. We're going to use a lot of the same questions we use for create a roster. So it'll be like, will they make the playoffs? Will they make the World Series? Will they win the World Series? And a lot of the same questions we used to use for that. The challenge is going to be making the pitcher good enough because, the velocity in the base game only goes up to 100 plus. So we're going to have to find other ways to make him. I basically want to give him 600 stuff. The scale now goes to 1 to 600. And everything you read about Sid Finch, I don't think any other pitcher could have a case for a 600 stuff. 160 miles per hour, a huge jug-handled curveball. It's just all stuff that adds up to this is a 160 stuff pitcher, a 600 stuff pitcher. It'd be fine if I set everything to max. Okay. So anyway, this is the kind of April Fool's gag that I don't think it ever happened today, right? They're like, everyone's much too skeptical. This guy would have leaked on social media. He would already be making tons of NIL money before a team like the Mets could even get their scouts into him. So it definitely is like an April Fool's joke of its time. But if you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend checking it out. It was pretty fun. And it was great that the whole team got into it. They had players in spring training, peeking behind the curtain and then reporting to the media, how crazy it was watching this guy pitch. And I thought the catcher complaining about his glove hand hurting was a really nice touch. I thought that was really good. So yeah, that's what we're going to sim tonight. As Smiley Face James said, I can't tell you right now what we're going to make his settings at. I'm kind of going to keep referring back to a couple of articles to kind of get a sense of does he actually get 600 control, or should be something a little less? Claydog says, during our lecture today for penetration testing, our professor booted up the tool we were learning, Metasploit, and it launched with a big My Little Ponies image. That's awesome. He was like, "Oh, I forgot they did this for April Fools." That's great. That's awesome. One of my kids said that their elementary school teacher was like putting the schedule up on the chalkboard. It was like crossing out all the recesses, saying they weren't gonna have time for recess or lunch, and then told them it was April Fools. Oh, actually, no. My oldest said that she said, "Everybody, it's April Fools." I don't know how true that is, but in her story, she was the one who figured it out first. Nolan just given her penetration testing. Yeah, if it was actually what you were thinking, you wouldn't be able to watch the stream in 17 states. So, all right, so let's get this. Yes, just as Chaz about it. All right, so I think the biggest question mark for everybody will be like, well, what's Sid Finch actually going to look like? So if you want to wait until we set him up in the game, you can definitely wait to submit your guesses. But I'm going to make some Sid Finch specific questions here in a copy of an old creator roster form. So these are still fine. Will this team make the playoffs? Again, this is a 98 win team that didn't make the playoffs in 85. It's the starting point. Remember, max out penetration rating is 600. Will this team make the World Series? Again, there's just one round of playoffs, right? You make the playoffs, then you make the World Series, then you win the World Series if things go well. And then will this team win the World Series? Will Sid Finch win the Cy Young Award? Now, you have to remember, one of the people he's battling for that is Dwight Gooden, who has a 12.4 WAR in real life. Clay Dog, isn't that just the gap rating? Amazing. All right, how many regular season games will this team win? What will be the highest WAR generated by any of this team's players? How many regular season wins by Sid Finch? How many regular season strikeouts thrown by Sid Finch? What will be the regular season whip of Sid Finch? Let's put ERA first. I think that's a more commonly referenced stat still. The other thing is we're going to have to give Sid Finch some batting ratings, and I'm hoping by looking through these articles I find something about his batting. I don't remember that being a big part of the story, but, I mean, if you're going to make up a folk hero rookie phenom, might as well make him a two-way player. So ERA, whip, strikeouts. Yeah, we have strikeouts. Wins. We asked WAR. Let's just ask Sid Finch's WAR. Let's just change this to. I'll just say pitching WAR, so that way we don't have to do math. And for all the numericals, we're going to do the new method. If we get to the numericals any kind of tie, whether it's for first or second, it's whoever gets the most questions right is going to be the overall winner. In a fictional fantasy player draft, does Sid Finch go number one? Could you imagine if you were doing fantasy baseball back then? I think it was called rotisserie still back then. And you drafted Sid Finch. That would have been amazing if anyone drafted him in an early draft fantasy league. All right, so how many regular season games will this be? This is usually the first place determiner. So we will keep that as the first place determiner, the regular season wins. And then after that, it'll be the sum of uh, whoever gets the most closest. So let's delete these. Okay, so these are all Sid Finch questions. How many regular season games will this team win? Then what is the regular season WAR of Sid Finch? Pitching WAR. How many regular season? I think WAR. Well, I guess the order doesn't matter if we're just saying this timer. But I'm still gonna move this back. I think WAR is like a capstone question. It's like kind of should come at the end. No, kind of. We're still about to create Sid Finch. I'm still making the questions for the pack giveaway form. What am I missing for pitchers? Wins, strikeouts, ERA, WHIP, WAR. I think that's pretty good. Okay, let me put this in the. Let me go ahead and publish this. So kind of, I mean, had all of you heard of Sid Finch before I started this talking about him in the stream tonight? It wasn't Sports Illustrated, so it was national, but it was definitely like a bigger thing in New York because, you know, it was the Mets. And the Mets, of course, like, you know, never as good as the Yankees overall or historically, but at the time, the Mets were like the much more. Well, I mean, I say this as a Mets fan. They were like the more up and coming, fun, exciting team, whereas the Yankees were kind of just the Yankees. Um, and so I think, you know, for me that was like the appeal of the Mets. Like between '83 and '85, they really put a lot of pieces together that create a lot of optimism and fun. And you know, they didn't have any rules against beards and stuff, so it just seemed like the more fun team to follow. Link to form for tonight's 10-pack giveaway. Now this is different from a lot of the theme sims we do. We just have one player in the mix here, so I don't know how much they'll be able to do. I'm gonna have to pin this for my alt because Twitch isn't recognizing me again. All right, so it is pinned. I wonder. I'm just testing to see if the Twitch glitch is in full effect here. Okay, it's not a full Twitch glitch because it is letting me claim my drops, which usually does not do. Every once in a while, Twitch does this where it acts like I'm not logged in, so it wouldn't let me pin my own message, but it doesn't seem like a full outage this time. All right, so let's just go ahead in the base game and start building Sid Finch. Yeah, so does anyone in the chat want to say whether or not they'd heard of Sid Finch before today? Let's see. I'm trying to find any information about his batting. Sid from Toy Story. Nope, never from Clay Dog. Vaguely from Smiley Face Jane. Yeah, so this SI article said that Finch registered in the spring of '76 at Harvard. And then let's see what else he has in here. His parents were killed in a plane crash in Nepal. I forgot about that part. When I read it, I did remember there was like some backstory about him being an orphan. He also didn't play baseball at Harvard because he left campus before the start of the spring season. So of course he's not in the Harvard baseball team photos or stats. He is like the Batman of baseball. Let's see. Trying to find anything about his batting abilities. Oh yeah, they have this guy in the SI article. It's supposed to be his former roommate. He's a Wall Street stockbroker guy. He's wearing a suit and tie. They did a lot to build out his backstory. Yeah, I think they said 168 because that was the highest the Jugs gun could measure. It was something like that. The estimates were like 200, but the highest they could measure was 168 or something. Um, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything about his batting. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, there's a picture of Sid Finch on a camel. Here, I think I can show you this, right? I don't know what the rules are about what I can show or not show, but I mean Ezra shows stuff all the time, right? I think I should be able to show this. Let me see if I can show this SI article. All right, so this is Sid Finch on a camel. He visited Egypt on his way to Tibet. That was the story of why he was in Egypt on a camel. And of course, Tibet is where his parents had died. Oh, here, I'll show you his stockbroker roommate. This is his roommate that they supposedly interviewed for the story. Look, oh, wow, that's spooky. He's being interviewed in front of 5 World Trade Center. That's a little spooky. Yeah, he took a journey to his parents' death site, yeah. But yeah, there's him on a camel. Oh, I'll show you. I will show you the tarped off. This is, oh yeah, this is the tarped off area where he's pitching, and these are 3 at the time Mets prospects: Christensen, Cochran, and Len Dykstra, and they're all like peeking in there watching Sid Finch pitch supposedly. There's a picture I think of the catcher too, complaining about. Oh yeah, here's Ron Reynolds, a Mets catcher, complaining about how his hand hurts. I think vying for an Academy Award here for his acting. Look at that, the grimace as he shows his glove hand, how much it hurts his glove hand. And the capture said after handling a few pitches from Finch, so just a few. That's the picture you want for ouch my hand. This is the French horn that apparently Sid Finch played as a hobby. Um, yeah, I'm not seeing anything about his batting though. This I think was this a scout or one of the coaches saying, "My God, that kid's throwing the ball about 150 miles per hour." Nolan Ryan's fastball is a changeup compared to what this kid just threw. So that's what the media is getting. They're getting all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I do have a couple kids, so but they don't even eat that much peanut butter, so I don't know why I'm getting so many peanut butter ads. Oh yeah. Oh, this is great. These are Sid Finch's stipulations to come to camp. No contractual commitments. During off hours, he was allowed to be completely by himself. He did not have to participate in team drills. He would only pitch for the Mets in private, and everything was to be kept as secret as possible. No press or photographs. Those are his requirements, and that's the excuse the Mets gave to the press for like why they had this tarped off pitching area set up. So yeah, they were agreed. The terms were agreed to on February 2nd. Here's the here's the free agent the free agent player report. His personnel ratings: self confidence, don't know, weird, gawky string bean type, no visible injuries. Okay, he does say unbelievable fastball and control, so we can give him max control. Um, Never played, no joke. Could be the phenom of all time. Call me. Very hard to figure. level majors. Excellent prospect category. I think it's exception. It might be exceptional. Yeah. So this was the scouting card that was turned in. Oh, all right, so we have his stats: 6'4", 170. Born in 1956 question mark, because I think they thought he was 28 at the time. Here's the rating of the potential: fastball 8, potential 9, curveball question mark, slider question mark. So we have his pitches too. If we can, it's a little blurry. Even on my screen, it's a little blurry. Clayton says, "Oh, this is so dumb. I love it." So yeah, we have that. We have his pitch selections. Oh yeah, my catching hand feels like it's been hit with a sledgehammer. Oh, here's some more info. Does he throw a curveball, a slider, or a sinker? Good question. Don't ask me. Oh yeah, so Mel Stottlemyre was the Mets pitching coach at the time, and Stottlemyre had his career ended by a rotator cuff injury, so um, they put him in charge to make sure that like Finch wasn't going to be injury prone. Um, let's see. Ask what influence might have contributed Finch's style and speed. Oh yeah, cricket may have something to do with it. Finch has taken the power and speed of the running throw of the cricket bowler and harnessed that energy into the pitching rubber. I missed this part at the time. I didn't know about this one. The wrist snap of that stiff arm is incredible. I haven't talked to him but once or twice. I asked him if he ever thought about snapping the arm like baseball pitchers rather than the wrist. It would increase his velocity. He replied, very polite, with a little bob of the head, I undertake as a rule of training to refrain from injury to living things. Oh, this is the owner of the boarding house where Sid Finch lived. The whole backstory was in there. Namaste at a time when no one probably had ever heard but knew what Namaste was. Hey, D Destroyer, we're doing a little backstory here on Sid Finch, who was the April Fool's joke that the Mets played. The Mets and Sports Illustrated played on everybody. Um, let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything about his batting ability though. So, and this is 85 in the National League where he would bat. Oh, here's his locker, right between Darryl Strawberry and George Foster. Like they did everything. They put up his name and number. Um, so I'm sure it must have seemed legit to people. I mean, you walk in the clubhouse, he actually has his name and number on a locker. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. I'm still not seeing anything about his batting, which is fine. We'll just make him like a decent batter. Um, we won't give him 500 batting. He's not going to be Shohei. Let's see. I think we're getting close to the end. No info on the batting yet. Yeah, his given name was actually Hayden Sid Finch. So we'll actually make sure we put that in his profile. Presumably he will mow down the opposition in a perfect game. Perhaps Willie McGee will get a foul tip. Yeah, this is great. What will happen to Dwight Gooden? Will Carter and the backup catchers last the season? The commissioners told the Mets had a kid who could throw the ball over 150. Uberoth took a minute before he asked, roll that by me again? Oh, yeah, here's Sid Finch playing his French horn by the seaside. There you go. I went with his him throwing on the beach for the slide. Here's that picture. As one does, right? But yeah, he also occasionally will play his French horn, and the landlady of his boarding house where he lives is quoted as like talking about hearing him play the French horn. D King says you haven't lived until you've done that at St. Pete Beach. So I'm just picturing like on any given clear sunset night, there's like at least 5 or 6 French horn players lining the beach. All right. Anyway, that is the inspiration for the stream tonight. Sid Finch, the fictional player. So let's go ahead and fire up a historical game. New game, new historical game. We cannot use challenge mode because we're going to do a lot of shenanigans. It's a 1-year sim, so we're not going to bother with the history. It is 1985. Defensive era, 1985. We'll do default mode, that's fine. Do I know the subheader of the article? This is the story. This is the behind the scenes story. It's not the actual story. But are you talking about the subheader of the original Sid Finch article or of this one? I didn't go with the original article. I don't remember it. If you want to put it in the chat, that'd be awesome. I didn't go with the original because in the original, everything's still like they're still playing it. Oh, you know what though? The original might have more information. Let me see if I can find the original. There's a 2014 looking back on article, and there's another 2020 article. But I don't see a link to the original article. So yeah, if you have the original subheader, that'd be awesome. Oh, and I think the original was written by who's that guy who wrote like Paper Lion, or he went to like training camp with the Detroit Lions and Plimpton. Not Martha Plimpton, the actress. George Plimpton. I think he wrote the original. Oh, okay. So I think Spy Face Jane is right. I think the one I was referencing is just a reprint of the original. Oh, the subheader is spelled out half. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it does. It does. Yeah, Spy Face Jane is right. This is the actual original. It does have the original article because you're right. He's a pitcher, part yogi and part recluse. So that's happy April, impressively liberated from our opulent lifestyle. That's Fools. Sid's deciding about yoga and his future in baseball. So Fools DAY day. So I think the and his future in baseball is not part of it, but that's amazing. I totally forgot about that. D King, thank you for that. That's awesome. Oh yeah, just George Plimpton here. Text again, welcome in. Filio, you have that Paper Lion book on your shelf? That's awesome. I think he also did a baseball spring training thing too. But like, I mean, he's one of the nerdiest guys you could imagine. So him going to like football training camp is pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, D King, thank you for that. That was great. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we don't need minor leagues. We won't do expansions, just a 1 season sim. You know what? I probably could have just. Oh no, I couldn't use the creator roster because it's 1985. Creator roster is 2024, so we do have to go through this. You never heard of this, T. Davis? Yeah, I mean, I think it's a story of its time. If you're in the New York metro area at the time, you probably remember it. Even if you're a baseball fan at the time, you might not have. Oh, there's a book, The Curious Case of Sid Finch. I had no idea there's a book. I have to get that. Oh, that's amazing. I had no idea. I just knew about the article and yeah, that's awesome. All right, Sid Finch sim. We do need to be in commissioner mode. Anyway, I've been looking forward to doing this. Like I played with this like a long time ago, but now that I know a lot more about how this works, um, it'll be more. I think more fun to do it now. Yeah, spring training 1985. T. Davis. Like Dwight Gooden was about to have his 12-point war season, 12.4 war season. The Mets would go on to win 98 games and finish second in the NL. Look at this. Game one is against the arch nemesis St. Louis Cardinals, who kept us out of the playoffs. All right, so first let's go ahead and create Sid Finch. You know what? Since we've been having fun with the player creation engine, let's just ask the player creation engine for like 20 legendary pitchers. We'll pick one that's closest and then we'll juice it up even more. I think that'll be fun. So GM manager actions, sign a free agent is where you go to create players. Fortunately, the free agent pool is empty, so that's good. So let's go starting pitcher. He's 28. He's going to be legendary. Service time none. And we'll make 20. And we'll just pick the best one. And then we're gonna juice them up anyway. Yeah, they had a better record than the NL West champions, but because there was no wild card, they didn't make the playoffs. I think Goodman went 24-4 that year. I could be wrong, but that sticks in my head. I know Clemens went 24-4 in '86. I think so. I might be conflating those, but I mean, let's go max velo. So this is great. This is what I really like about OTP26 player creation. These are all legend level pitchers, but not everyone has 80 and 85 stuff like in OTP25. Right? You've got this guy with 50 stuff and 70 home run suppression. Now these guys drop down to 4-star, but you've got, guys with lower stuff but higher home run suppression, higher control. You've just got a bigger variety of profiles, which I like. I think this will make Creator roster more interesting this cycle. So Eric Pride looks like a pretty good one. Highest velo, highest stuff, highest home run suppression, second highest control, not very splitty, extreme ground ball. So I think let's build Hayden Sid Finch off of Eric Pride. I also like the little wrinkle that he bats lefty. He happens to be the right age as well. So we'll change the name to Hayden Finch, nickname Sid. Uniform number I think was 21, was on the locker. Of course, April 1st. Look at this. His given birth date was already April 2nd. We're going to make him April 1st. I think that scouting card guessed his birth year is 58. Let me go back and check. I laugh every time I scroll past that that catcher holding his hand, wincing, selling it to the reporter is so good. All right, here's what I'm looking at here. This is his made up scouting card. Oh, 56. They think his date of birth is 56. That'll make him a little too old, though. And it did have a question mark, so we'll make it 57, so he is 28. American, Caucasian. Oh, where was he born? Did it say? Oh, I think those pictures are actually taken in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Or they're supposed to be Old Orchard Beach, Maine, at least. All right, let me see where he was supposedly born. I got so wrapped up in the backstory about Tibet and stuff that I forgot to note where he was born. Um, but yeah, I think the more I've looked through that, I think Smiley Face Jane is right. I think this is just a reprint of the original article with some additional context. Yeah, it doesn't say, I don't think it says where he was born. It says they know very little about him. Most of his life has been spent abroad, except for a short period at Harvard University. At the time of his parents' plane crash, he was in his last year at the Stowe School in Buckingham, England, which I guess is a boarding school. Yeah, it doesn't have a place of birth in here. What was Jimmy Superfly Snickers? I think he was introduced as like from parts unknown. Sid Finch is from parts unknown. Yeah, let's just put Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Is it even in there? Oh, it is. Look at that. Old Orchard Beach, Maine. That's where he lives now, apparently. Okay. And then in his scouting report, he's 6'4". So what is that, about 200? No, that's just too much. 190, 195, 193, 6'4", 170. He does throw righty. I like this wrinkle that you best likes, but he throws righty. He's a starting pitcher. He's a little known at this point because of this article. Actually, locally well known, national unknown. Can he have no shoes? Is that an option? No, there's no shoes option here. We're going to add him to the Mets. There we go. Injuries are going to be off, but of course, he'll have no injury proneness. No major league service days. No school. He is on a rookie contract or a minor league contract. All right, batting ratings. We'll make him. I mean, he's supposed to be a generational talent. So We'll make him a little better than a 133 hitter, but not much. We'll keep his power a little lower. I'll maybe give him a little more contact up here. I think putting him right around 200 would be nice. Yeah, that's good. You don't necessarily have to take him out of the game when he comes up to bat. We'll give him a little more eye. That's not bad. We'll let him field his position pretty well. I mean, his infield arm has to be 250, right? He throws 200 miles per hour. So I think, unfortunately, T-Vegas, the max velo we can give him is 100 plus. It doesn't go up to 168. But the scouting report does say that he has unbelievable fastball and control. So we're going to focus on that. And, let's not make him a total bum here on running speed and stuff. I mean, he's not going to be stealing bases. But, he can run the bases. He can bunt. He can definitely bunt. He's not going to bunt for a hit, though. What does that do to his bunt ratings? 65 sacrifice bunt? Not bad. I think we can juice that a little bit more. Give him a 200. Yeah, you know what? We'll boost his infield error, too. Take that to 175. Okay. All right, now here's the fun part. Let's do his pitching ratings. All right, of course we're going to max out his... Well, let's see. Is there anything on the pitching card about his stamina? It's very blurry. It's very hard to read. I wonder if I can find... Can I find a blank Mets free agent card from that era? Or maybe it's a scouting card? Oh, look at this. Okay, hold on. Let me put this up in the... I have it up in a different... Oh, no, it's asking me to subscribe. Dang it. Shoot, it had an image. Hold on. I think I can save the image. And then let me... I think this scouting card will have more visible information on it. Okay, so let me open this up in... Oh, it's still pretty blurry. I mean, it's potentially a little more visible. Let me see if I can put it up here. This is in the photo viewer. It seems more visible, but when you zoom in, it's still just as pixelated as the one in the article, I think. The handwritten parts are a little more clear, but the type parts are still as pixelated. What I was hoping to do was find a blank card, like a blank scouting card from that era. Oh, this one might be better. Let me try to open this one. Oh, this is a little better. I think it's a little better. Let me put this one on the screen. I think this is a little more legible. This is from the Museum of Hoaxes. All right, so yeah, this is way more legible. Home address is Orchard Beach, Maine. School address is left blank, of course. Fastball velo 8, potential 9. Fastball movement, I think 8, potential 9. Curveball, slider, changeup ball, question marks. But by the way, 8 is outstanding. This is basically the 20 to 80 scale, but they're saying question mark 90. Fastball velo question mark 90. Fastball movement question mark 90. Curveball question mark 90. I still don't know what this says down here. BB instincts? Baseball instincts? 2. He's a 20 in a question mark. Self-confidence, mental toughness, pleasure fire, don't know. Off-field habits, weird. Off-field habits, weird is my favorite so far. Physical injuries, no. Oh, so no, injuries down here. Glasses, contacts, married, yes or no. Weaknesses, never played. Signability data, asking for $0, question mark. Actual worth, question mark. Agent involved, no. Start at what level? Majors. Prospect quality, excellent. So they backdated this to the previous July and then broke it out in April of 25, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so there is no stamina information. That's what I was hoping to find in there. So we'll give him 200, which I think should be about a 65 rating, maybe. Oh, it's an 80. Wow. Okay. We gave him 80 stamina. Hold runners will leave at 140. Now the velo, the maximum is 100 plus. And I think they do say he's an overhand delivery on the card. It looks like it says overhand. This says SA for sidearm. This is probably UH for underhand, which I guess is a submarine pitcher. I'm guessing this is like 3/4 delivery, but it does say overhand, so we're going to go overhand. So over the top. Fastball, of course, will go maximum 600. Curveball sounds like it's a 600 as well. Okay, his stuff just went up to 751 on a scale of 600. Well, he doesn't have these pitches, though. I don't think he throws a knuckler. Doesn't have a cutter. We will give him a deadly changeup, though. And we'll give him a very good 500 changeup. So his stuff is 734 on a 600 scale. I think that does a pretty good job of approximating 168 miles per hour. Now, they do talk about the movement on his curveball, so we will max that out as well. And they do point out he has unbelievable fastball and control, so we'll give him 600 there. PBABIP we'll put at, I don't know, what, 170? What does that translate to? Oh, that might be a little too high. Because we gave him God stuff, which is what kind of, I think what the article is focused on was his stuff and his control. 130 might be a little too low. Something in like the teal. Yeah, 65 is fine. And ground out percentage. 73 seems pretty high. Let's go 65. Oops. Hit batsman. I mean, he's got pinpoint control, so we'll go 1-0. He's never pitched before, so maybe he'll have some balks. Maybe we'll go 3 here. All right, I think the 734 stuff probably approximates 168 mile per hour fastball with a devastating curveball. Yeah, overall control. His scouting card says overall control 8, 9 question mark potential. Oh, so maybe that's what we do. We give him 80 control now. And 600 control potential. Yeah, okay, I like that. And maybe the same for the pitches. Maybe we give him 575 with 600. 575 with 600. Then on this, we'll just boost the potential. The scouting report sees, well, of course it's going to be weird. It's made up, but let's see. Like, how is he not a 9 velo now? If you're going to go up that, that's true. That's true. That's true. How is he at 168 miles per hour and he's not a 9 velo? That's true. That's true. So yeah, let's boost this and we'll make this 600. Okay. PBAB, there's no potential, so there's nothing we can do there. Same with the movement. We'll give him 550s and a 600 potential. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Well, so let's go ahead and save this. Yeah, we have to do all the settings stuff, so let's go do that now. So scouting is off. Coaching is going to be off. Injuries off. Suspensions off. No player development. So I guess the potential numbers didn't matter unless you want to use this save later. And we might. That's why I went ahead and put in the potentials. That is funny, though, Spy Pages, now that you mention it. He throws 168 and his velo is a 8, potential 9. Like he's going to throw 200 next year. Are you talking about in the D King in the card, future in baseball? Is that a thing here? The subheader. Oh, to the article. Yeah, that was the one part that didn't seem to fit the April Fool's Day. Like that was, those are the, yeah. Okay, league settings. It does. Oh, a fib. Oh, it does. You're right. I just wrote that off, but yeah, you're right. A fib. Happy April Fool's Day. A fib. That's awesome. That's great. That's so good. All right. Well, trading will be off. No free agents. We won't do roster expansion. You know what? Let's let pitchers win the MVP. Let's see if he wins the MVP too. We'll you know what we should do? I'm gonna save this as a quick start because I might turn injuries on and stuff, and we might do like an entire career for him at some point. A fib has a certain meaning in Wisconsin. Can you share, or is it NSFW? We'll turn off the importance of popularity so he can still make the All Star game. Not in chat. Okay. uh, let's see. I think all this stuff is good. All right, players, that's all good. Historical, we do not want players retiring or missing seasons. We're not going to import historical rookies. Okay, we're going to lock in the multipliers and we're not going to auto calc. So modifiers they're on to create 1985, but they're off for the purposes of nerfing Sid Finch. So we should be good here. We'll change the mailbox settings. You know, one fun thing about doing a career sim with Sid Finch too is to see what kind of trade offers we get. But also, this guy's starting at 28 years old, so even if he comes in just crushing, I mean, how long is he going to last? It'll be interesting to see how he plays out. Um, Maybe we'll do that for next April. We'll do a Sid Finch career sim. All right. Let's see. I think everything's set now, right? Oh no, we have to get him onto the team. He's on the roster, but we have too many players. Who are we going to send down to make room for Sid Finch? Oh, okay. The cleaned up version stands for funny Illinois bad guy. That's awesome. All right, let's look at the pitching ratings. Sid Finch is a 5-star prospect. Oh no, he's a 5-star currently. 95 stuff. So I think we got that right. If you tell me 168 mile per hour fastball and a crazy curveball, I think 95 stuff is about right there. A little less stamina than Gooden. I think that's all right. Top control. I think that's fine. And extreme ground ball. Pretty good hold. I mean, I feel like Sambito's the worst of the bunch, but he's one of only 2 lefties in the pen. I worry that if we send down a batter, it's not like in keeping with the era. What's the depth chart look like? Like Gardenhars are only backup shortstop. We could send down Chapman, but then Gardenhire is backing up everywhere. That's the problem. Where's Tim Teufel? Oh, this is the spring training roster, not the postseason roster. We could send down Chapman, though. Oh, because it's 85. We don't have all the players. I'm thinking of 86. That's why we still have Chapman and not Teufel. We could send down Staub. I think he was a big pinch hitter that year, but he only had 55 plate appearances. Do I dare cut Legrand Orange to make room for Sid Finch? He's the least impactful to the depth chart. He's not even in the outfield depth chart. And he's not even the top 4 pinch hitters versus righties. So, yeah, we're going to, with all apologies to Legrand Orange, we're going to cut Rusty Staub, beloved Met. I'm going to send him to the reserve to make room for Sid Finch. Now, Finch isn't in the rotation yet, so let's ask the AI for the staff. I'm assuming Ed Lynch is going to go to the pen. Yeah, Lynch goes to the pen. Finch goes to the number 1 spot. That's a heck of a rotation. This is actually this is the 86 rotation too, except with Ojeda is missing. We have Sid Finch instead of Ojeda. But yeah, all the pieces are here by now. So Carter is now here. Hernandez is here. Those are the 2 big acquisitions since '83. Strawberry has been up for a year or 2 years at this point. Strawberry came up in '83, I think. Gooden came up in '84. We already have Ray Knight. George Foster's still a 70 power guy. By '86, he's washed. All right, I think we're set. You know what? This is one thing that would be nice if they had. For strategy, at least they didn't have it in 25. They didn't have a Davy Johnson. Yeah, there's no Davy Johnson here. That would have been really cool to have a Davy Johnson in here. But we'll run traditional. All right, I can't think of anything else we need to do. Oh, we have to set this. Oh no, Chad, am I forgetting to do something? D King, that's what you think of 168 mile per hour fastball. Well, it's 168 is the highest they could measure. Supposedly, it's higher. The Jugs gun would only go up to 168. No, we're not doing a 1620 game season. All right, so I think we can go here. Let me run the 3 minute ad roll. Oh, you know what? Let's save this game and then save it as a quick start too. All right. So we've got a quick start of this. If we ever want to do a career mode of Sid Finch, we might do that. You know what we'll do? The day the Mets get eliminated from the playoffs, so whenever in July or August that is, to assuage my pain, maybe we'll do a Sid Finch career sim. Maybe we'll do that. But with that, I think let me run the 3 minute ad roll. I'm gonna go refill my water. This is your 3 minute. Well, now you know what Sid Finch looks like in the game. You can submit your forms. So I'll see you in a few minutes. All right. I don't know if the ads will roll, but I am back, ready to sim. If you all are. Is anyone still working on their pack giveaway form? Because I would like to close it up and get the sim going. Oh, it's not pinned to the chat anymore. Apologies. Let me I will repin it. It is pinned to the chat again, top of the chat. If you're not seeing it, maybe try refreshing and you should see it. It was gone though. If I have, oh, you know what it is? I had to pin it from my alt, and it defaults to 20 minutes of pinning if you don't opt out of that, and I probably forgot to opt out of that. So it probably went away after a little while. But it is back. DK, if you want to fill one out, I don't mind waiting a few minutes. I was actually thinking while I was getting water. Oh, that was fast. Very nice. Okay. So I was thinking while I was getting water. No, no worries. No worries, D King. That was my fault probably for not opting out of the 20-minute pin timer. But I was thinking while I was getting water, how awesome it is now that with Twitch and stuff, I get to share this sim with other people. Because back in the day, I would just be at home on April Fools doing this myself and laughing, laughing with myself at how fun this is. But now it's like we can do it collectively on the stream. So this is a lot more fun than laughing by myself. All right, so let me get a spreadsheet up of the guesses, and I'll put that up in the chat. Hey, DJ Cool Dad, if you want, I will hold the I will reopen the form if you want to get in on this. Do you want to get on the pack giveaway? I'll reopen it, but you have to do it fast if you do. All right. We created Sid Finch, the fictional Mets pitcher from a 1985 April Fool's Sports Illustrated story, who supposedly had a 168 plus mile per hour fastball and had never played organized baseball before and was in spring training with the Mets. And we're going to sim the 85 season. If Sid Finch had been real, what might have happened? So the form is the creator roster form with the numerical questions, just all Sid Finch questions. They should be pretty easy. Okay, you'll just watch for fun. All right, that's cool. Okay, well, if you watch the VOD, you can see the articles and stuff that showed. And D King reminded me that the first letters of the subheader spell out Happy April Fool's Day, a fib, which I had completely forgotten until he mentioned that. All right, these are the four non-numerical questions. So we'll just look at these for now. Let me resize the columns a little bit here so it fits. Screen. All right, here we go. Again, this team won 98 wins in the regular season in real life. did not make the playoffs because the Cardinals won 101. Will this team make the playoffs? So there are 6 of you in it tonight. 5 of you think they'll make it to the playoffs. 3 think they'll make it to the World Series. 2 think they'll win the World Series. And all but 1 think that Sid Finch will win the Cy Young Award. And then we'll use the numericals for that second tiebreaker, or if necessary, even the first tiebreaker. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, 2 out of 6 thinks this team will win the World Series, and half think that it'll make the World Series. It's tough. It's really tough with only 2 teams making the playoffs in the National League. It is tough. A lot can happen, and this is only 1 pitcher. We're only adding 1 guy to this team, so. D King Team Doubter. Hashtag Team Doubter. All right, well, let's look at the preseason predictions. This is my favorite part. We'll sim to opening day. All right. Now, this isn't always correct, especially when we have lots of editor shenanigans going on. It does seem to fool the preseason prediction engine. But I still find it very interesting. We want to go to, MLB reports and info preseason predictions. So it has the Yankees and Tigers both winning 100 games. Either one of them would have won the AL West. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. According to these predictions, 5 teams in the AL East would have won the AL West. This is a year, by the way, where Rickey Henderson does go off. 85 is one of the best Rickey Henderson years. All right, the Mets predicted win 106, finishing 7 games ahead of the Cardinals. The Dodgers, who only won 95 games in real life, are projected to win 101. Sid Finch is predicted to be the top pitcher in the National League, ahead of Dwight Gooden. And, in a decidedly low strikeout era, right, even Gooden is projected to have 8.39 strikeouts per 9. Finch is predicted to have 14.75 strikeouts per 9. Okay, I almost shot water out of my nose when I saw 525 strikeouts projected. I had just taken a sip of water. That was very dangerous. All right, so I want to watch his first start, which will be opening day. But I don't want to just watch highlights. I want to watch play-by-play. So we don't have a game on opening day, so we're going to sim to the next day. Okay, so now we have Hayden Sid Finch against John Tudor. We're going to hide scores. We're going to quick play. And then we're going to watch the replay. Replay should give us every pitch. Oh, yeah, maybe I can improve things here. Let's see. I think I heard someone, maybe Dr. Nice, say they turn off dynamic action cameras. I think that maybe helps with the camera moving behind the pylons and stuff. If anyone else had advice for changing other stuff on here, let me know. I'd be happy to change stuff. I do like classic 3D view, though, so I'm going to leave that on. Anything else? we'll go with this for now. This isn't the view I remember. Is that... Maybe this isn't classic 3D view. Oh, yeah. No, I don't like this scoreboard. I don't like that scoreboard. Yeah, I like this. Oh, okay. Whatever I just did gave me back the view I like, which is this. All right, we're at home. So Finch has the potential to throw all 9 innings. Leadoff batter Lonnie Smith, 0-2 count. Oh, I forgot about the flyby. Oh, sits him down. First batter struck out. Tom Herr, 1 out. First pitch, hitting. Fly ball to center. That hangs up for Mookie Wilson. And Willie McGee, 2 outs and a 2-2 count. Goes down swinging, 2 strikeouts. And a clean first inning for Finch. All right, bottom of the first. Wow, this is interesting choice by the AI. Keith Hernandez leading off. Pops up to Herr at second. That brings up Wally Backman. Goes down swinging. And Gary Carter batting third. Gets hit by the pitch. Strawberry batting cleanup. Lefty. Goes down swinging. Pitcher's duel here. As we head to the top of the second. Jack Clark, full count. Pops it up to second. Oh, Backman can't get to it. What was he doing? Andy Van Slyke, dangerous left-handed batter. Takes a strikeout looking. Brings up Ozzie Smith. Fly ball to right field. Strawberry squeezes it. And Darryl Porter. That's a heck of a lineup the Cardinals have. Goes down looking. Was that 4 strikeouts, I think? George Foster grounds out to second. Tommy Herr over to first. Santana batting 6. That makes no sense. And fly ball to center field. Howard Johnson. Ground ball up the middle. Gets past the infielders for a base hit. 2-out single. Brings up Mookie Wilson. Ground ball to short. Fielded cleanly by Smith over to second for the out. And we'll have Finch leading things off in the bottom of the third. But top of the third, Finch facing Terry Pendleton. Fly ball to right. And he's out. John Tudor, pitcher versus pitcher. Goes down swinging. That was a 101 mile per hour fastball. Lonnie Smith. Ground ball to second. Fielded cleanly over to first for the out. All right, Finch leading things off here. He's not a useless batter. We gave him a decent bat. And he pokes one to left, but that's going to hang up for the out. Leadoff batter Keith Hernandez. Again, the AI set this lineup, not me. Ground ball to short. Ozzie Smith over to first. And Wally Backman, the slap hitter, with a 1-2 count, goes down swinging. Man, John Tudor matching Hayden Finch out for out here. Tom Herr, 0-2 count. Checks his swing, but not in time. Strikeout. Willie McGee. Line drive into right field. That's a clean base hit. First clean base hit of the game for the Cardinals. They do have 2 hits. Another one's a little blooper over Backman. Brings up Jack Clark. Runners going. No throw to second. 0-1 count to Clark. No throw to... Oh, there's a throw to third, not in time. McGee steals second and third. Clark goes down swinging. That's a big strikeout to get to 2 outs. And a 2-2 count for Andy Van Slyke. Van Slyke goes down swinging. I think that's... is that 8 strikeouts? It's close. Carter couldn't throw to second with that hole in his glove. All right, Carter leading off the bottom of the 4th with a full count. Ground ball to second, fielded cleanly for the out. Strawberry, 3-2 count. Ground ball to short. Ozzie Smith makes the play. And George Foster. Ground ball up the middle, gets past Ozzie for a base hit. 2-out single. And it's going to be wasted because Rafael Santana is batting 6th. Fly ball to center. And that's an out. All right, top of the 5th. Pitcher's duel continues. Ozzie Smith leading off with a 1-2 count. Ground ball up the middle. That's another base hit. Leadoff single for Ozzie. We've got to watch him on the base pass. He may be stealing as well. Yep, there he goes. Throw by Carter. Not in time. Darrell Porter still at bat. Ground ball to first. Fielded cleanly by Hernandez. Takes it himself for the out. But the runner moves over to third base with 1 out. We could use another big strikeout here. 2-2 count to Terry Pendleton. Goes down swinging. So the sac fly is off the table. And it brings up John Tudor. Another strikeout. 10 strikeouts through 5 innings for Hayden Finch. Hayden Sid Finch. Howard Johnson, bottom of the 5th. Ground ball to first. Clark over to the pitcher. Nicely done. Mookie Wilson with 1 out. 0-2 count. Oh, the pitch gets away. Swinging strike over to first. Not in time. The hustle and speed from Mookie Wilson pays off. And here's Finch with 1 out. Throw to first, not in time. Throw to first, not in time. But runner's going over to first. In time, 2 outs, runner on second for Keith Hernandez. Pops it up to third, and that'll end the inning. All right, Finch still going strong. Top of the 6th, facing Lonnie Smith, 2-2 count. Oh, fly ball to deep center field. That's over the center fielder's head, off the wall. He got a good bounce, though, came right back to him, so they'll be able to hold him to a double. That's the first hard-hit ball for either team. Brings up Her with no outs. A 1-2 count. Ground ball to second. Oh, it's booted by Backman. Mets are going to Met. Even with Sid Finch on the mound, the Mets are going to Met. All right, Willie McGee up with no outs. A 1-2 count. Throw to first. Not in time. Ground ball to second. They turn the double play, but it does score a run. And Jack Clark. Popped up to second. This time Backman gets to it. All right, bottom of the 6th, down by 1. Tudor still dealing. Backman hits one to center. And that's going to be an easy fly out for McGee. Gary Carter pops it up to short. Ozzie ranges over for it in foul territory. And Darryl Strawberry with 2 outs, 1-2 count. Fly ball to center field. And that's another out. Finch facing Van Slyke, 1-2 count. Another strikeout, that's 11. Ozzie Smith goes down swinging. That's 12. And Darryl Porter. Fly ball to right field. Strawberry under it. And that ends the inning. Bottom of the 7th. George Foster leading things off. Tudor still on the mound. We might be able to chase Tudor after the next inning when he comes up to bat. Be interested to see. Oh, it's a rain delay. Foster hits it to left, but it's going to hang up for the out. Santana, again, inexplicably batting 6th, hits a blooper in the right and gets a base hit. Tells me to shut up without telling me to shut up. Very nicely done, Rafael Santana. Howard Johnson, 1 out, 2-2 count. Goes down swinging. Better than a double play, though. Brings up Mookie Wilson. Ground ball to second. Hurd dives over to first. He's safe at first. They give him the error, too. That brings up Finch. They're going to leave him in the game. And he goes down swinging. All right, top of the 8th. Pendleton up. Let's see if they let Tudor bat this inning. Goes down swinging. 13 strikeouts for Finch. They do let Tudor bat. They're going to let Tudor go the distance. Tudor goes down swinging. That's 14. Lonnie Smith. Fly ball to right. Doesn't have the distance, though, and that's going to end the inning. Hernandez, bottom of the 8th. Ground ball to second. Over to first in time. Bachman, from his weaker side, slaps it to second. Hurd picks it up over to first in time. Gary Carter. Another rain delay, 30 minutes this time. They do keep Tudor in. Ground ball to second, picked up by Hurd, over to first in time. Oh, they brought in Roger McDowell. Ground ball to second, over to first. The best Finch can do is a no decision here if the Mets can come back and win. That's 2 outs. This is such a Mets thing to do. To have a 98-win team, the best pitcher in all of baseball, maybe ever, and potentially lose his first game of his career. And he gets Clark on strikes. All right, thanks for Strawberry. Thankfully, Tudor is also out of the game. So Jeff Lottie comes in to face Darryl Strawberry. Fly ball to left. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Leadoff single. If anything, it's at least a confidence boost to have Tudor out of the game. Danny Heap pinch hitting the lefty batter. Preferable lefty-righty matchup. Another throw to first. Ground ball to short to Ozzie, over to Hurd. But surprisingly not able to turn the double play. So the inning, the rally stays alive. Here's Len Dykstra pinch hitting. Over to first, not in time. Pops it up. Pendleton coming in for it. That's 2 outs. And Howard Johnson. Throw to first, not in time. Oh, if he got thrown out at first to end the game, that would be a Cavacom-ish moment. Ground ball to first, past the first baseman. That's a base hit. Trail runners advancing on the throw to third. Second and third with 2 outs for Mookie Wilson. Unfortunately, it's not Bill Buckner at first, but we'll see what happens here. Fly ball to right. McGee is in. And unfortunately, the Mets get shut out, losing Sid Finch's first game. What a Mets thing to do. What a total Mets thing to do. Unbelievable. Such a Mets thing to do. All right, let's check out that box score. Yeah, Mets get a Met. Finch, 8 innings, 5 hits, no walks, 1 run, unearned. That's right, he lost on an unearned run. I forgot about that. 14 strikeouts. But Tudor outduels him for pitcher of the game. 8 innings for Tudor, 3 hits, no walks, no earned, 6 strikeouts. Well, Finch is everything we thought he would be, and the Mets are everything the Mets usually are. Let's go to the standings view, and let's watch the first month of the season. Finch is Rookie of the Month, and Howard Johnson is Player of the Week. Let's look at Rookie of the Month, Hayden Finch's stats. He struck out 74 and walked 1 in 42 and a third innings. That is a screenshot if I ever saw one. 74 strikeouts and 1 walk. What's the strikeout to walk ratio? 7.4? That's pretty good. No. 74. No, that's what I said. 7.4. No. 74. Amazing. He has a .64 ERA. It went 4-1. Very nice. How is Doc Gooden doing, by the way? Gooden is 3-1 with a 3.51 ERA. There's a 74 strikeout to walk ratio. 74 strikeout to walk ratio. He's given up as many walks as he has home runs, which is 1. Amazing. So even with the 1-2 punch of Gooden and Finch, the Mets are in second place. Although they're chasing the Cubs in this sim instead of the Cardinals. Finch tied for second in wins, leading the league in strikeouts, almost double second place. Gooden not making an appearance on the leaderboards yet, but I'm sure that will change. All right, let's watch another month. Mets are now in first place. 16-game winning streak. So this is just one pitcher we've added, but the Mets went on a 16-game winning streak. Gooden wins Pitcher of the Month. Gooden went 5-0 with a 1.04 ERA, not to be outdone by Sid Finch. 38 hits in 52 innings. Struck out 46, but he walked 9. Who walks 9 while striking out 46? Sid Finch was again Rookie of the Month. In May, he went 4-1 with a 1.05 ERA, 67 strikeouts in 43 innings. Oh, he gave up another walk, though. His strikeout to walk ratio is now down to 70.5. Sid Fernandez, El Cid bringing it too. He's 6-1 with a 1.56. Very nice. All right, let's watch the month of June. Mets 33-10 through May. 10 games ahead of the Cubs. 11-game win streak by Gooden just came to an end. 11 quality starts in a row by Finch and Gooden. Very nice. Finch, not just the rookie of the month again, but this time gets pitcher of the month. 5-0 with a .87 ERA in the month. 52 innings, 78 strikeouts. Ooh, he walked 2 more batters. That strikeout to walk ratio has now dropped way down to 43.8. Gooden continues to be hot as well, 13-2 with a 2.03 ERA. You know you're pretty good when your top 2 pitchers are 26-4 combined, and it's not even the All-Star break yet. All right, let's sim to the All-Star break. Roger McDowell, 12-game shutdown streak in the bullpen. And we've got one more game to sim before the All-Star break. 65-22. No one else in the majors has more than 55 wins, which is the Blue Jays. Finch and Gooden first and third in ERA, first and second in wins, and with Sid Fernandez top 3 in strikeouts. Finch already almost equaling Gooden's real life total WAR of 12.4 with a 12.1 at the All-Star break. All right, NL fan voting. Gary Carter leading a catcher with 1.4 million votes. That's it so far for the Mets. Darryl Strawberry leading in right field with 1.3 million votes. Okay, again, the importance of popularity has been turned off, so it's supposed to be just performance based. They did get Gooden right. He's 16-2 with a 1.94 ERA, but notice, observe, who is missing? Hayden Sid Finch is not in the top 5 vote getters. Did he fall off? No, he's 15-2 with a .77 ERA. And he did not get top 5 votes. All right, let's see who gets chosen. At least he'll probably get chosen to the game. Sid Fernandez chosen with a 9.6 record and a 1.12 whip. Hayden Finch. Sid Finch chosen with a 15-2 record. And 13.9 strikeouts per 9. Dwight Gooden voted in. Top vote getter at pitcher, 16-2. Let's see. Gary Carter voted in at catcher. And Darryl Strawberry voted in at right field. 273 average with 19 home runs. T Destroyer with the gift sub. Thank you so much for the gift sub to Sharks Boy. Thank you for supporting the channel, T Destroyer. Appreciate it. Oh, home run challenge. Let's watch the home run challenge. Strawberry might be in this. Nope. There are no Mets in this one. Yeah, T Destroyer, thank you so much. That's great. I really appreciate that. All right, first round. Mike Young beats Pedro Guerrero. Balboni beats Gorman Thomas. Eddie Murray beats Don Mattingly. And Darrell Evans advances past Dale Murphy. Mike Young destroys Steve Balboni 14-4. And Darrell Evans beats Eddie Murray. And Mike Young wins the home run challenge. Interesting. All right, let's move ahead to the All-Star game. Dwight Gooden does get the start. The AL wins 7-4. Gary Carter went 2 for 3. Very nice with a run scored. And did Strawberry get in the game? Strawberry went 1 for 4 with a run scored. I love the channel. Thank you, T Destroyer. I appreciate that. Glad to hear it. All right, Gooden did get the start. Got roughed up a little bit. 2 hits and an earned run. Did strike out 1. Gave up a home run. And that's it for the Mets. Who hit that first inning bomb? Jack Perconte of Seattle. No, that's in the 4th inning. Who hit the first inning home run? Oh, sorry, that's the NL. No, wait. Gooden pitched the first inning, right? So who hit the home run? Oh, Ricky Henderson. Leadoff home run. Very nice. I think this is Ricky's MVP season, right? 85. He goes yard off of Gooden on the first at bat. All right, here we go. Resuming the regular season. 65-22. Coming out of the All-Star break. We'll finish the month of July. Little rough start there coming out of the All-Star break. Several losses within the first week. 5-5 in the last 10. Not a great restart. D King wants the Mets to Met for you. There's plenty of time for the Mets to Met. Finch already almost has 300 strikeouts, and it's August 1st. He's putting up old Hoss Radburn numbers, and it's 1985. All right, let's do another month. All right, 89-40, 690 win percentage. The only other team with over 80 wins is the Yankees, who are 81-48. Strawberry has now jumped up to second in league in home runs. Finch and Gooden continue to dominate the pitching. First and second in ERA. First and second in wins. First, second, and third in strikeouts with Sid Fernandez. Finch has already demolished Dwight Gooden's actual WAR record of 12.4 with an 18.2. I mean, I know this was a 98-win team, but adding one player has completely changed the complexion of this pennant race. They're already at 89 wins on September 1st. All right, let's take a quick look at the calendar. I don't want Finch to miss the first start of the postseason. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left. And Finch is starting this game. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a 6-man rotation. Who's my reliever with the most stamina? Ed Lynch. Yeah, he used to be in the rotation. We're going to pitch Lynch on the last day of the season and preserve Finch's arm for the postseason. So that way Finch will be ready to go on game 1. Because as it stands right now, Finch starts this game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 again. I don't want Finch starting this last game and then missing the first couple games of the postseason. And we're going to sim day by day just to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, so Finch is pitching today. Mets win 6-0. Finch, does he go the distance? Finch throws a 4-hit shutout with 13 strikeouts. Okay, Gooden against Tudor. Mets win Does Gooden go the distance? He goes 8 innings, giving up 1 earned, 7 hits, and 8 strikeouts. Sid Fernandez takes a loss. We lose 4-2. Okay, it's Gullickson at Aguilera. Win 9-1. Aguilera finishes above 500, 13-12. Yeomans against Darling. Darling's 13-8. Ooh, a pitcher's duel. Mets lose 2-1. Darling takes a loss. Now this should be Lynch. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted to avoid. So where is... Oh, it's because I have always start highest rested. So we're going to go strict order. We're going to go strict order. We're going to start Lynch. This is to preserve Lynch's spot in the rotation, or Finch's spot in the rotation for the playoffs. The Mets lose 2-1. Lynch pitches well, but takes the loss. A 2-1 pitcher's duel. Carter hits a home run. Now, let's go to a 4-man rotation for the playoffs. So, you know what? We're going to send Aguilera to the pen. We're going to move Darling up to the 4 spot. And then send Aguilera and Lynch to the pen. Okay, Aguilera is going long relief, middle relief. Lynch is back in as middle relief. And McDowell remains the closer. All right, that is... We win 112 games against 50 losses. Again, this is a 98-win team before adding Sid Finch. So yeah, I mean, Finch's WAR is definitely above 14. But it did seem to change the entire complexion of the team. Just made everyone around him much better. Which I don't know how that works in sim terms, but the whole team just seems to be playing very well. All right, let's go save now that the regular season's over. And let's check out the postseason tree. Oh, do we have a game once? Oh, we do. The Tigers and Yankees are tied. So we finished today. And the Yankees and Tigers playing a game 163. That's awesome. That is awesome. Guidry is 21-8. Dan Petrie 19-9. Now they've got to burn their top guns because they need to make the playoffs. So they're going to lose their number 1 starter for the playoffs. Yankees win 7-3. Player of the game, though, is Lou Whitaker in the losing effort. That's interesting. He went 3 for 4 with a double and a home run. All right, the playoffs should be set after today. Finch does win the pitching triple crown. Very nice. Let's go. I think Gooden might have won the second place triple crown too, which is really cool now. So Strawberry finishes second in home runs and third in OPS. Oh, Gooden dropped off in the ERA race. Otherwise, they would have finished first and second for earned run, average, wins, and strikeouts. That's too bad. 476 strikeouts versus Gooden's 277. 26 wins for Gooden, 28 for Finch. And Finch finished with a sub-1 ERA. Let's screenshot the final standings. All right, and then let's go to the postseason. So we've got Athletics, Yankees, Reds, Mets. You know, the Reds had an outstanding season without me noticing here. They beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers actually won 95 games in real life in 85. But the Reds did not win 99. Vetus, Rose, Parker, Isaski, Milner, Oster, Foley, and Van Gorder is the lineup. Look at this. 4 18-game winners. Ted Power with 48 saves. Looks like they rode their pitching to the postseason there. This will be an interesting matchup for the Mets. All right, the National League's going to start things off. Finch on the mound against McGaffigan. Oh, a pitcher's duel. The Mets win on a 3-hit shutout by Finch. 9 innings, 3 hits, 13 strikeouts. Mookie Wilson gets the lone RBI. What a way to start the series. Okay, the Yankees Athletics start off their series. Yankees win 6-2. And the National League Game 2, Gooden versus Robinson. The Mets win 3-1. Another pitcher's duel. Gooden holds the Reds to 1 run on 5 hits. Pitches 8 innings, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And McDowell comes in for the save. NL's going to be on a travel day as the AL plays their Game 2. The A's win 5-2, tying the series up at 1. Despite 2 home runs by the Yankees and none by the Athletics. Wow, Don Sutton was still pitching in 85. Wow. All right. NL back in action while the AL takes a travel day. It's Sid Fernandez against Mario Soto. I don't remember which year it was, but Mario Soto in the 80s had one killer season. Just a dominant season. Actually, it looks like he had a few, but I remember one in particular just being sick. Where's ERA? Oh, they don't. Oh, they do have ERA plus. Actually, he had more good seasons than I thought. He had a few dominant seasons here. I thought he had just one, but these 3, I would take any of these 3. All right, Game 3, Mets leading 2-0 in Cincinnati for the first time this postseason. Holy cow. The Reds rock Sid Fernandez. They win 17-2. Holy cow. Fernandez with an 18 postseason ERA now. Jeez. I guess the Mets can't wait to get Finch and Gooden back on the mound. All right, it's Guidry against Cotteroli in the ALCS. We should take a peek at Iron Cap after this? Okay, we'll do Smiley Face Jane. The A's win 5-3, taking a 2-1 series lead. And the Mets, with Ron Darling facing Tom Browning. Mets win 4-3 in a tight one, scoring 3 in the top of the 7th to come back and win. What happened in the top of the 7th there? Dykstra hit a 2-run double. Nice. Len Dykstra doing work. He only had 207 at-bats this year, but hit 275, which I think was close to his actual average. All right, Oakland now up 2-1. But the Yankees win 8-3, tying the series up at 2. Finch back on the mound for the Mets, as is McGaffigan. This is a repeat of the Game 1 matchup that was a pitcher's duel. And the Mets win 7-2. Finch gets 12 strikeouts in 8 innings. And Howard Johnson goes 3 for 3 with a double. Now the Mets get to reset their rotation, rest their players, while the A's and Yankees battle it out. A's win 6-2, taking a 3-2 series lead. Travel day, more rest for the Mets. And the A's win 2-1, taking the series 4-2. There'll be an off day before the World Series starts. Now, the problem here is Finch cannot start game one. It's going to be Gooden starting game one against Chris Cottaroli for the A's. Cottaroli went 13-12 with a 4.94 ERA. The Mets win on the road 3-2, scoring 3 in the top of the sixth for the come-from-behind victory again. Gooden, player of the game with 8 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Sid Fernandez had a rough outing in the NLCS, looking to redeem himself here and reduce that 18 postseason ERA. Mets win 8-2. Fernandez goes the distance. 6 hits, no walks, 2 earned, and 7 strikeouts. Strawberry with a home run. Travel day as we head back to Flushing for the Mets. Why is Finch not starting yet? Finch is 100% rested. All right, we're putting Finch in the game. I don't know why it's not starting Finch. Oh, I put him on strict. I'll put him on strict on the last week of the season. I forgot to change it back. Thank you, Smiley Face Jane. All right, Finch now is starting against Don Sutton in Game 3. Mets win 6-0, a 2-hit shutout by Finch. 13 strikeouts. Kruger versus Darling for Game 4. Mets looking for the sweep here. And they do. Nicely done. 7-5 in a bit of a shootout, at least for 1985 standards. George Foster, 4-for-4 with a home run and 4 RBI. His last big day before he becomes washed in 1986. All right, let's go to this view and watch the trophy get awarded here. There we go. And let's head to the off season for some awards. Let's save this. .1306 game score, pretty good. There's Hayden Sid Finch at the top of the trophy. 28-2, .93 ERA. All right, let's look at those awards. Great gloves. Winning there. You know, in fact, let's turn achievements off so we don't get any spoilers. Learn that trick from Smiley Face Jane. Thank you, Smiley Face Jane. Relief of the year, we do have Roger McDowell. He didn't have a lot of saves, but his ERA was not great. 28 saves, 7-8 record, 3.11 ERA. I'm not sure he'll even get a vote, but Ted Power from the Reds, fully expected that with his 48 saves and 1.14 ERA. Well deserved. Needham Fuhrer for the Dodgers comes in second, gets 11 first place votes, 5-4, 28 saves, and a 1.65 ERA. He also had 74 strikeouts and 81 and 2/3 innings. Much more of a power pitcher than Ted Power. No pun intended there. Let's sim ahead to the Platinum Stick Awards. Gooden gets one at pitcher. Very nice. Gary Carter at catcher. And Darryl Strawberry in right field. Very nice. Rookie of the Year. I mean, is Sid Finch not going to win Rookie of the Year? There you go. Sid Finch, Rookie of the Year. Rick Aguilera comes in second. That's weird. This is broken. This says Finch took the ball for 0 starts this season, which we know is not correct. I'll send that into the forums. 0.92 ERA, 293 and 2/3 innings of work. Allowed 138 hits, struck out 476 and walked 21. Held opponents to a 137 batting average. Wow, that is pretty impressive. All right, next up the Cy Young. I'm assuming Sid Finch also for this one. Taking the Cy Young that originally went to Dwight Gooden. Yep, Gooden comes in second. Unanimous winner. At least they got his starts right here. They said 34 starts. So the Rookie of the Year somehow is pulling from the wrong spot there, pulling 0 starts. Okay, next up is MVP. Now, can Finch win the MVP? We did leave it on that pitchers could win it this time, just to see if he would win it. Oh my goodness, Finch also wins the MVP. Unanimously. Gooden would have won it otherwise. Look at that. Pitchers dominating the MVP voting. Hershiser and Valenzuela finished 4th and 5th. So this is why I turned that off, because the AI lets pitchers win the MVP too many times. And I like to make sure the batters have a premier offensive award. Yeah, Tudor's in there. Sid Fernandez is in there. Joe Hesketh is even in there for the Expos. Rick Russell, Andy McGaffigan. So yeah, I like to make sure the batters have an elite award too. All right, let me unhide the Twitch IDs and we'll take a look at the pack giveaway form. We'll give out some forms. SpyFHN, are you streaming tonight, by the way? Okay. Here's what we have so far. Will this team make the playoffs? They did make the playoffs. So we've got 5 players advancing to the next question. Did they make it to the World Series? Yes, they did. So we got Kynan, Leopard 119, and Smiley Face Jane. And they did win the World Series. So we got Leopard 119 and Smiley Face Jane left in the running here. And will Sid Finch win the Cy Young Award? Yes, he did. Well, with only 2 players, we're not going to have to test out the new tiebreaker rule. We're just going to have to go with how many wins. All right, we won 112 wins. So the winner is going to be, with a guess of 107, Leopard 119, 2 more than Smiley Face Jane. Would have tied with Kynan for the highest guess and closest guess. So congratulations, 7 packs to Leopard 119. And second place for Smiley Face Jane. Now I do want to see how the rest of the numerical guesses would have gone. Yeah, Kaiden. They did win the World Series. I think, especially in the postseason, 2 arms can take you pretty far. You go to a 4-man rotation, those 2 arms can make a huge difference. How many regular season wins by Sid Finch? The Mets never win anything. That's why I play OOTP, Kainen, because in OOTP, the Mets can win. 28 wins for Sid Finch. AW is closest with 27. Very nice. Regular season strikeouts thrown by Sid Finch, 476. Smiley Face Jane closest with 500. .469 would have taken it as well. Someone wanted to make a very nice guess of .469. Regular season ERA of Sid Finch, that was .92. Oh, the .69 meme guess of Smiley Face Jane is close, but I think AW is closer with the 1.11. Regular season whip, .54. Smiley Face Jane is a little closer than AW with the .62 and the .5. .5 takes it. And then the regular season WAR, 22.3. Smiley Face Jane incredibly close with a 23.5. So if we had to go to the new style tiebreaker, Smiley Face Jane would have had 3 closest answers and would have won it. But won second place anyway. Only 2 players guessed that the Mets would win the World Series, so that's what did it. And so Leopard 119 comes in first, and Smiley Face Jane comes in second. All right. Let's do what Smiley Face Jane suggested after we save this game. Let's take a look at the... what are we looking at? Live silver? Silver cap? No, iron cap. Iron live. Iron cap. Iron cap. Let's go look at iron cap. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a blast doing it. I don't know. Sometimes it's like hard to tell. The chat seemed lively, so I assumed that meant you guys were enjoying it. But if we had to reward Smiley for her good guesses, we totally would have. All right, let's see. At least one of my teams is in the semifinal here. Playing the... Is it the Helio or the Gilio or the Galio Flames of Miki? And then let's see, is my other team... Oh. And the Fargo Fielders are on the other side facing the... This is the Madison Mohicans, I think, right? Of MJ Tebow. So yeah, we are on opposite sides of the semifinals. My Grateful Dead Balls were also in it, but they lost to Stardust Crusaders, a HOTL team. But look at this, Smiley Face Jane, you avenged me. You swept the Stardust Crusaders after they beat me. Oh, good, Claydog. I'm glad you thought that was fun. I had a blast doing it, so that was good. All right, well, I'll keep an eye on this evening to see if Smiley Face Jane and I have a showdown in the finals. That'll be fun. And let's see, let me look for a raid destination. Unless Smiley Face Jane's gonna stream, we'll raid into her, but... She did. Yeah, she avenged me. I think she would have lost that one if she didn't have to avenge me. Okay. Not tonight. So we're going to raid into one of my favorite music streamers then. Sarah Mahoney Music is on tonight, so we'll raid. It's not often that we finish early enough to raid into Sarah, so. Sarah plays piano and sings. Only does covers, but does fun covers. Does a lot of little fun little kind of inside joke stuff too on the stream, and it's a good time. So I'll be hanging out in there, watching the rest of this tournament, and doing some drafts and stuff. But thanks for joining. Appreciate everyone being here. Thanks to Ezra Denny for the raid. Thanks to T Destroyer for the gift sub to the community. And hope to see you. I will be off tomorrow night as usual, and I hope to see you Thursday night. In the meantime, please enjoy Sarah Mahoney music.